Greetings, everyone. I'm Angelo Robles. No more Moats, DeepSeek, AI disruption, and the U.S.-China power shift. DeepSeek is legitimately impressive, but the level of hysteria it has provoked, it's an indictment of so many. It does allow one to do more with less. It's clever engineering, drastically reducing power consumption, but still is going to need advanced GPUs, namely Nvidia, which it's getting off market. That's still required for processing. The threat to Nvidia and AI infrastructure, the announcements have spurred fears that AI models may begin requiring fewer chips, less energy. Nvidia, the world's largest company, has been driven by the exploding demand for its high-end chips, the same chips that train AI models. So, is the USA ahead in AI? Right now, training AI models is insanely expensive. OpenAI, Anthropic, and others, they spend hundreds of millions just on compute. They need massive data centers stacked with thousands of $40,000 GPUs. It's like needing an entire power factory or power plant just to run a factory. So then DeepSeek shows up in what? What if we did this for 5 million? Now, I'll come back to that 5 million soon enough, but let's stay with it. They didn't just talk, they did it. Their models match or beat a GPT-4 or Claude on many tasks. How? Well, they rethought everything from the ground up. Traditional AI is like writing every number with 32 decimal places. DeepSeek, they asked, what if we just used 8? Still accurate enough, and just like that, boom, 75% less memory on that alone. But here's the clever bit. They built kind of an expert system. Instead of one massive AI trying to know everything, kind of like having one person be a lawyer and engineer, they have specialized experts that only wake up when needed. And here's the kicker. DeepSeek did this with a team of fewer than 200 people. Meanwhile, Meta has teams where compensation alone exceeds DeepSeek's entire training budget, or so we're led to believe, for their models. And perhaps they're not even as good. So the implications, AI development becomes more accessible. Competition increases dramatically. The moats of big tech look more like puddles. Hardware costs plummet. So is this a challenge to Nvidia and data centers? Now listen, the $5 million number I call bogus. This is Chinese hedge fund and Chinese government propaganda. It's designed to slow investment in American AI startups to short American tech giants like Nvidia and mask kind of the sanction evasion. We are a fertile bed in this country, and I'm not the only one who says this, for psyops like this, primarily because of our media. They kind of hate, now at least, our tech companies. And some of them want to see Trump fall. So many useful idiots that are uncritical reporting Chinese propaganda, they're reporting it as fact, and they want it to be true. They love watching hundreds of billions of dollars, the Chinese do for sure, wiped off the market cap of American companies. And China has zero guardrails on its AI development, especially the build-out. Their build-out of infrastructure, energy resources, less red tape, and a faster pace than, for the most part, for now, the U.S. could dream of. So the Stargate connection and Cold War realities, now pay attention. This has huge implications for what Trump is proposing with Stargate. The timing of China's DeepSeek launch, well, kind of perfectly matched with Trump's first week in office. We are at war. A Cold War, sure, but a war nonetheless. The race to AGI, to superintelligence, and quantum dominance. This is a winner-take-all, financially to the markets, militarily, and effectively, obviously, geopolitically. And how about quantum? It is coming. Jensen Huang of Nvidia says at CES conference in early January, quantum is decades away. Nonsense. That was a purposeful misdirect. Family offices must begin, as I've been talking about, protecting their own data. Now listen up. Wealthy families and family offices, stop using public platforms for your sensitive data. Own, don't rent. This is easier than ever before with open source models here in America like Metals Llama using AWS, the right team and devs. It's actually not that hard. Your data is gold. Protect it. We're going to come back to that a little later. USA and China, who's winning? AI, robotics, drones? Probably right now, China has a slight edge, but maybe, just maybe, DeepSeek just woke up the American tiger. And Trump, he knows this. So how should family offices invest amid this turbulence? What about Nvidia and data centers? Short-term headwinds, yes, but long-term, Nvidia is an excellent company with excellent leadership. And we need more data centers. We don't have enough energy for all that is coming. AI, robotics, EVs, drones, quantum. Now, normally, I like to keep this more private for the members of my SFO continuity, but today I'll give away a few stocks that me and my thought leaders have been thinking about and buying. IBM has done great this year. Rigetti on Quantum, IONQ, RDW, Oklo. Do your own diligence. When you invest, you can lose money. And this is not quite set it and forget it. I like those too, but this is not that. Will DeepSeek reduce energy needs? Maybe, maybe not. More companies will arise needing more power. We still need more power. Again, robotics, drones, EVs, everything. Energy remains a massive opportunity. Now, I could argue, is it already priced in? Become a member and find out. The quantum threat to Nvidia. Now, that's a real threat. What destroys Nvidia? Quantum computing, the cheapest compute. Listen, the cheapest compute will win. If Jensen Huang doesn't back the right technology, Nvidia they won't disappear. They'll just lose. Another multi-trillion-dollar company would arise. Remember what I said earlier about his misdirect. He knows this, and they're actively, very active in quantum and buying companies and working together with the U.S. government, which is good. Build your own AI. Think back to data centers. What is the infrastructure supply chain you need to ask your own AI? The answers are hiding in plain sight. You want to get investment opportunities. What's going behind the infrastructure? Structure your controlled AI to listen to the conference calls of the AI players. Summarize insights. Investments are going to be within that infrastructure. The questions you ask matters. All the info could be at your fingertips, but if you're not asking the right questions, most important person is the person who thinks like a philosopher, a deep thinker. Ask the right questions. The powerful thinker in the room is the one who asks the best questions. That person's going to be employable. That person solves problems. That person makes money for the family office. My members get everything. Knowledge, actions to take, resources, amazing thought leader intros, AI builders, world-class investors, and of course, your fellow peers. This is a subject that's very dear to my heart. I came back from Miami this week here. Well, now we're February 1st, but in late January, and I did a little something on DeepSeek when I was in Miami. But after a couple of days, things are changing rapidly. Some of my thoughts change. You can't get anchored. As new information comes in, like when you're playing poker, you need to adapt. New information came in. I'm lucky to have some interesting connections around the world, coupled with my own research, my own thoughts. At the end of the day, think for yourself. I get it. I like traditional investments too. I enjoy ranch land. I enjoy traditional companies. I think I have lots of thoughts about value investing, but conceptually, I get it. But we have to wake up to a new reality. How the world works is different than what we were thought. It's changing rapidly. We do not have all the information, but there are some signs of what we need to do. I spoke years ago about being active in Web3 and crypto. At the end of the day, I ended up being correct. And over the next 4 years, trust me, that is going to come back and be very, very correct. I'm going to save this one for my members, but there's an incredible play broadly in crypto that ties into some of the things that we're talking about today. By the way, it's a private company transaction that my members will get. But going back to this world of AI, drones, robotics, the advent of quantum, this is just huge. You having a little bit of exposure as an LP in a venture fund is just not enough. You have to educate yourself. You have to face realities, and you have to take advantage of opportunities, because we got 10 years to make more real money. It's going to get harder and harder after that for a variety of reasons that we could get into at a different time. The family office that you know today is going to look radically different in 3 years, 5 years, and for sure 10 years. To take advantage of opportunities, to hedge risk, to become more of a global citizen, to understand certain nuances of, in reality, what is happening, you got to be part of a special group. I've been 20 years in the family office world. This is the most passionate, and I'm a pretty passionate person, including, of course, with my cigars and coming back from Miami, just heaven. But so here we are today. If you're going to be a family office of the past, I'm not saying you're going to go poor. You're probably not. You're just going to get outpaced drastically. And I don't want that to happen to you. As a principal, as a rising generation, all these things I'm talking about, the rising generation understands. But as an executive, I want you to be employed. I want you to have optionality. You have to think differently than what you're doing now and educate yourself. Know how to use AI, know the nuances of it, know who the players are. It's more than just investing. What's happening with DeepSeek is very, very intriguing, and you better get on top of it. Join my SFO Continuity, my private membership community for amazing families and their family offices. Go to angelorobles.com and join now. Again, angelorobles.com, go to membership and join. Be part of this special community. Get everything that me, my resources, and your peers, and collectively our knowledge and wisdom and debating and arguing ideas. This is not just kiss ass and everyone kumbaya. This is bring your best ideas and let us rock them. And then maybe come to some sort of consensus of what we're going to do from an investing and a lot of the non-financial topics as well. Again, this is all part of going to angelorobles.com and joining today.